this is us. I farm with my husband between Forfar and Dundee. We have 550 acres and we are tenant farmers on Fotheringham Estate. So our background is, I think that's probably the best way is to give you a wee bit of background as well, is that the Nicoll family went there in 1966. They've been tenants on Fotheringham Estate for over 100 years, and I came along 21 years ago, and I'm the one that's caused all the problems since. So my husband and his father were very much traditional farmers, traditional beef and sheep, and they grew malting barley and wheat. Then they retired in 2001, basically because I was pregnant with twins, and I had grown up in a series of businesses that my mother and father ran that were in no way connected to farming, although they had previous lifetimes in farming, but I didn't have any experience of farming at all. So I had the twins and they were 3.5 months premature, so we've had various issues since then because of that. So what we did was I basically had to give up my own work to be at home for them, but then realised that my brain was just absolutely dying at home just dealing with these twins. And I'd taken over all the farm paperwork because Graham absolutely detests paperwork, but I wasn't getting much out of it. I wasn't also able to impact on the farm because at that time my mother-in-law and father-in-law were so well involved, and there wasn't really a place for me. So I decided to start B&B in the farmhouse in 2006. That led on to us changing our cottage that had been our first marital home in 2009 into a self-catering unit. But really, all the businesses were very much run separately. There wasn't this big connection with the actual farm. This is my husband, by the way, just in case you wondered. And he's with Dodd, one of our bulls. He has become a complete star now, but we'll come on to that in a wee while as well. So the three businesses were run separately. I then did Rural Leader in 2009, so it's great to see so many people I know here as well today through that. And then in 2011 I began to be involved with the agritourism side of things, with discussions through that with Scottish Enterprise. So that led on to us going on, you've heard about it already today, going on the Go Rural Tuscany trip. So you'll see some of Rogues Gallery are here today as well, and we had a really, really good journey out there, a great time. It was very, very inspirational, and I know others have spoken about it today, but when I went out there, and you went out and you went to the most amazing places, like I think Kim was saying, you went to these places, the cheese lady in the middle, she had her goats, that's not actually why I now have goats, but hey ho. The farmers markets, the wine cellar, the olive plants, the olive growers, I mean everything was absolutely phenomenal. Health and safety was very much to be desired, but the whole thing, I was going out there thinking, well, I'm a farmer, and if I feel like this seeing these places, then actually maybe there's a place for me back home to go and look at what we had. And that's what I really did. I had to go home and look at what we did, or what we had on the ground. They also told their story. There's been a lot about storytelling today, and that is an amazing thing to do, to be able to tell a story and to tell it well and to link it to your audience, who it is at the time. I'll try and not go too much into telling my story because I can go on a bit, most of you here. So what happened? This is back in the time of the Monitor Farm now, 2014-15, and I was very proud to be supporting Scottish agritourism. Kim's here in the newspaper cutting as well, and also we've got Claire and Caroline down here. So this was where I was at. It was still the B&B, the holiday cottage and the farm. And they still weren't really linked in a joined up manner at all. So then I looked very much into looking at rebranding our business. So this is the rebranding we came up with. It did take me absolutely bloody years to get to this point because I just couldn't get through that my head. I just couldn't get where I needed to be. But what actually happened, oh no, it's not meant to be there yet. So what actually happened was that the actual community within the group, Kim said it so well, and so did Anna, the people you met, the professionals you met, the people that are willing to share their business, be it business to business information, it was phenomenal. It gave me so much to go away with. I was happy to share the things that I knew. Oh goodness, why does it start doing it now? I think it's telling me to shut up, isn't it? I'll go back to this one. So the emphasis for me was the actual opportunities doing the Monitor Farm gave you just by being within the community group. Collaboration, sharing ideas, there's nothing better. People also saying to you, look, you know, I've done this, I made that mistake, you know, don't do it. That is second to none to get this free advice. Networking, Kim mentioned networking again, it is really, really useful. There are people that I've met on the Monitor Farm, on the Go Rural Tuscany trip that, you know, from now on, albeit it might always just be fleetingly and yeah, grab a drink and that's it, but it's still absolutely brilliant, and the people you can connect with is phenomenal. One of the most important things I think anybody can do is look at benchmarking. In whatever business you're doing, the opportunity to do benchmarking is absolutely massive, what you can take out of that. So I have been an advocate of benchmarking for a long, long time. I was lucky enough to be involved with some of the ladies that are here today, looking at agriculture many years ago, and we did benchmarking way back then with agritourism, and now I'm actually involved with the Agriculture Monitor Farm beside us, again, I'm in the benchmarking group, and that's just for the farming side. So that is definitely worth it now. Okay, so where are we at now? Well, this is where my sheets kind of got a bit messy, and I probably won't be able to keep to that very well, but anyway, here we go. So we've rebranded the business. I've clicked, and it's finally got into my brain that actually people come to stay on our farm might actually want to see what's going on there, and also vice versa. People, you know, might come to see what's going on and then want to stay. So what we did originally was we thought, well, the folk coming to the farm and staying are not seeing much going on in the summer. They come in there and they go, oh, can we go and see your animals? And I was like, oh, well, the cows are 3 fields away and the sheep are up on that hill, and I've got a dog and I've got a cat and there's some hens out there, but there wasn't really much for them. So we decided to, at this time, also, just to make you aware, we ended up being caught up in the whole cross-compliance, the fiasco with the single farm payment being held back for people who hadn't, who got their inspection, and we were 11 months late in receiving our single farm payment. We were on our knees. Our cash flow was annihilated, and we stupidly thought, I'll rephrase that, there was no we in this. My husband had just bought a tractor, a second-hand one, but right before that happened. So at that point, then we were absolutely floored, and we needed to do something, and we needed to do it fast. And this was a complete, basically, cry out to survive. So to do that, we revisited, I'm jumped way ahead now. We jumped out and we thought, right, okay, what can we do? What do we have on the ground on our farm that we can use? So we have really friendly animals. We've always had animals that we've petted on the farm, that we've always named. Yes, I'm one of those stupid farmers that has Dottie the goat, and this is Alzen the cow, and that was Motley the lamb. He was a boy. So various different animals on the farm that we did name, and we were using or keeping that connection with. And I know it's hard in commercial farming, but we wanted to talk about that, and we wanted to share that experience. So we started first of all rehoming some goats. We were given 4 alpacas randomly. We were given a micro pig that lived in a flat in Dundee for 6 months, and suddenly we had some animals on the ground there that people could come and see. And it was really only our staying guests at that time, but we've started taking them round and giving them some information on what we did on the farm. but it was taking a lot of time out of my day. And actually, the fact that we had no money, this wasn't helping, because we had to feed these extra animals that we had, and I wasn't getting anything back from guests. You know, it was more time, and I realised that this hour out of my day was not helping. It was lovely, and you know what, it's great showing people around, but it was just adding more stress. And I thought, no, I've got to do this differently. So I decided back in February 2017 that we would launch officially and start and create, have our own offering of a farm tour experience. We did this because we had no capital to invest. I had another massive, big idea on the farm, and this is something that I really want to do, but we just didn't have the money to do it. And I just didn't have the confidence to go for the funding, because we needed so much other stuff around it, and information and technical advice. So, so this was the simple one that we could do using what we had on the ground. So starting with basically no capital, we keep it very rustic, and it's all about, like Kim was saying, it's about who we are and who I am and what I want to portray. I want to keep it real. I want our farm to be authentic, and it has to work with our farm. So we now have kids, families coming round. Our tour is all about meeting the animals on the farm, learning about where your food comes from, that passage that it takes, about looking at, you know, the ear tags. This is all stuff you guys all know. Andrew mentioned earlier on about shearing the sheep. We had a sheep shearing demonstration this year. We obviously do the bottle feeding of the lambs. That is manic. But I mean, that is, you know, it's crazy. So our first 6 months when we started, we had 2,000 visitors. For us, that was massive, because we limit numbers every day. I do 1 tour a day that lasts, well, I would like it to last an hour and a half, but it lasts 2 hours normally. So, but it's all about getting, you know, kids out there to see. We've had somebody, a child in Angus, come out and go, "What's that over there?" And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "The brown thing." And that's a cow. And it is that realisation that these are people in Angus that live in a rural community and don't know what is out there on the ground. People don't realise how big sheep are. You know, you get the sheep, admittedly I am a bit sad as I'm going up to the gate and going, "Emily! Emily!" And the folk are looking at me, and then the sheep starts charging to the gate. You know, but it's an absolute brilliant experience for these people. We've got Hamish, the tup, who just was a pet lamb, who's now a tup, who just, again, runs up and then just starts going, at everybody. You know, they're desperate to see people, and the people are desperate to get hands-on with them. So everyone gets to feed the animals as they come round. The only backing and support we've had is the Angus Council gave us a grant for £1,000 to buy 4 more alpacas last year. And then what we did is we started an alpaca walking experience as well. So you'll see the picture in the middle at the bottom. This girl drove up in a privately driven car from Gleneagles. She was Russian. To this day, their English wasn't great. I have no idea how they found us. So this was quite early on when we started. But she came up to do an alpaca walking experience. You know, we've had the most random people. I've had a 95-year-old man that went round, did an alpaca walking experience, and halfway round the field, I couldn't understand why he kept talking about the grass. And he kept going, "Oh, this is lovely grass." And we now have horrible sheep. And he was going, "Oh, I haven't seen those sheep before." And, you know, and he sang the Sky Boat song to this alpaca as he was going round. I mean, it was just beautiful. Those experiences that we're now getting with our customers as well is absolutely amazing. Anyway, so halfway around this field, we then find out that he's talking about, "Oh, well, I used to be a bit involved with, you know, the land and things like that." And then eventually my husband went, "What is your name?" You know, because it was booked by his daughter, so we didn't know. And he was like, "I can't actually remember it myself, but anyway, I think it was George, but anyway." And he turned around and he says, "Oh yeah," and then my husband went, "Oh my God, you're not George," whatever it was again. And he was like, "Yeah," and my husband was like, "My God, he was my lecturer at Elmwood." So, you know, it's amazing the people we've had that, you know, that know so much, but we could still educate new things. He hadn't seen his horrible sheep, so he now has seen his horrible sheep. But it's all about being hands-on. I'm trying to think what else. I've completely gone off track here. I've said about it's making use of what we've got. It's about keeping everything authentic. One of the main drivers we've had in our business, because it was free, is Facebook. Facebook is phenomenal. I had, as I said, 2,000 visitors in the first 6 months that we opened. We've had a 50% increase this last year in visitors, but there's only so much I can do because it is just Graham and I still. We don't have staff, and this is something we need to look at, but we don't want to take away from what it's about. It's about sharing our life and sharing our experience and keeping it real. And, you know, there's nobody else that's going to be able to say, well, you know, I'm just trying to think, Jock, one of my well, he's never going to be a top, unfortunately, because that bit of playing. But yeah, so Jock is now remaining on the farm because he should have been off the market, but he used to escape on the tours and follow us round. And so since this little tiny lamb that got bottle fed, now he tours around on the farm. Well, he doesn't now because he's actually probably too big, but you know, he used to squeeze under the gate, come around on the tours, and now, you know, he's survived. So he gets to live his life out on the farm. But, you know, there's only me that can actually tell that story, or Farmer Graham. Farmer Graham's become a bit of a sensation as well. If anybody knows my husband, sometimes it's hard to get a smile on Grumpy Graham's face. And, but it's been amazing. The actual fact of bringing people onto the farm has made him happier, his whole life different. His father, who's in his 80s now, comes out and he's the one showing people the tractors and things like that. But we do limit it. We're not an open farm. We can't do that. We couldn't do that at the moment. So that's really a lot about where we're at now. You saw a glimpse of this earlier, but this is me and Farmer Graham. And this was taken in harvest this year. So this is really where we're at. It is about us. It is just the two of us still. The twins are not quite there yet. They're 16, but they're not overly helpful. But one of the most unbelievable moments we had is that in November we won the Regional Thistle Awards for the Tayside, Central and Fife area. We didn't just win it once, we won 2 awards that night. We were the only Angus business to have won an award that night, and nobody on the night won 2 awards. I don't know if anybody else in some of the other regions has, but we won for most hospitable B&B and the best outdoor experience. Now, my claim to fame at the moment, well, not quite yet, but Lagan won the best outdoor experience 2 years ago for not only the region, but the national awards. And that's me through the national awards. I can't believe that I'm in the same category that they would have been in. But I'm glad I'm not up against something this year, I can tell you that. So, I mean, I'm still in awe of all the businesses that are here today, especially the ones that have spoken, the other ones that I know that are in the audience and still want to come and stay in your helicopter. And, you know, there's so many people you meet in this community and throughout Scotland. And this has just been phenomenal for us. Every day I go out, I'm a rabbit in headlights when I take people around on the farm, but it's so much, it's so rewarding seeing how people respond. And I know there's so much bad press about farming out there just now, and it doesn't help our cause. But just possibly to give some inspiration is that I actually had somebody who was a vegan out in December. They stayed on the farm. It was the day after we'd weaned the calves. It's the absolute worst nightmare. She arrived saying, listen to all the cows mooing, that's great. And I went, oh yeah, we've just weaned the calves today. She went, oh right, okay. And why did you say? And I went, well, we've just got to get them, give them a bit of a break. They're due to start calving again in February and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, you calve every year. And I was just, I just felt myself drain. And I was really worried about then this impending farm tour. And we took this lady around and we showed her everything. I don't shy away from difficult questions. We have had that moment where there's a dead lamb, and you're like, oh my God, no. And you've got a child walking around going, what's that, mummy? And you have to be honest, it has to be real. We take inspiration from the strangest things. We're looking at doing some wool demonstrations, doing different things with wool, but just doing it very simply. Because of the alpacas, we can show different fleece types and things like that. We teach the kids how to make butter, based on my experiences with Rhett. There's just lots of little things that you can take from your own business and be inspirational with it. and it doesn't cost us anything really to do that. However, it's not to say I haven't had my challenges. I'm still trying to get toilets on the ground, and that has been a massive, massive issue. And I'm still waiting for building control, and it seems to be going on for, well, it is going on for months, just to approve. We managed to get a second-hand toilet block, and that will be fantastic when it finally arrives, or well, finally gets put on the ground. It's there. It's probably rotting now, by the way, but by the time we get these groundworks in. But it is just, yeah, definitely advise if you've got any ideas, anything you want to do that you think can be driven forward by the Monitor Farm, then do it. Whether you win being the Monitor Farm or not, you'll still get something out of it. Even little things like going and having a nosy at somebody else's business. There's nothing like that. Farmers love that because they're always looking over the dike to see, oh, he started harvest. Oh, right, I better go and check and get my combine ready. That's always been the nature. So please do it if you're even contemplating it.